maybe 8:45 or 9:45. I don't remember anymore, but it was one or the other.
Is that bedtime? Like,
It was bedtime for me, but most of the guys, it was bedtime, and some of the guys would watch TV into the night. You could watch TV all night if you wanted to. You could just stay in the TV room watching TV, and some guys would, especially on like, there were some nights where like a show would come on at 10 p.m. and everybody would be up to watch it, or 9 p.m. Something called there's like a Kevin Costner TV show called Yellowstone or something like that, and then there's some other like show called Queen of the South or something that are like cable channel. They're kind of like tent pole series, but on cable.
mhm.
And those guys were really into those two shows. So they'd never miss an episode of that. There would literally be a posted on the TV reserving that TV for that show tonight, like letting everybody know, hey, we're coming back at 9 p.m. and we're gonna watch Yellowstone or whatever the fuck that show was called. So yeah, there'd be people up all night, but I didn't. I did that literally 3 times where I stayed up really late watching TV, or even past like lights out. When the lights went out, I was going to bed. You know, I sleep was the best way to kill time, right? You know, so if I could go to sleep, I wanted to sleep as much as possible. If I could sleep 10 hours a day, that was perfect.
If you could 2-month coma, you might have picked it.
I would have picked it. I absolutely would have picked it. Like on the weekends, on the weekends, you don't have to you don't have to make your bed or get out of your bed. So on weekdays, bed's got to be made at like, I think it's like 10 a.m. or something like that.
And that's not that bad.
And it has to stay made all day. You can sleep in it still, but you got to be on top of the blanket.
Hmm.
Oh, that sucks. That's fascism.
Which I would do. I got no problem with that. And but on weekends,
did you cover yourself with anything?
I had a sheet, so sometimes I cover myself with that sheet.
Sometimes that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it would. You know, the guys who've been there a while had multiple blankets because they had bribed somebody, but I had one blanket. But on weekends, I would not get out of bed until like I really had to piss. And then I'd go piss and then I'd try to go back to sleep. So best case scenario, I can stay in bed until 2 p.m. in the afternoon, maybe 3 p.m.
Were there other people employing this tactic or no, just you?
I noticed that the people would start employing it more when their time was getting short. Like when they had like a week or two to go, they'd really start getting lazy and trying
to grind,
to get as much of that time gone as possible. Like I saw a couple guys around me that did exactly that. But for me, I was short time anyway, so every day was that. So like people walk by like, man, you gonna get out of that bed? I was like, no, no, I'm gonna sleep some more. You're gonna ruin your back like that. Don't care. Don't care.
No, I'll only be here for another 6 weeks.
2 months, not 2 years. I'm gonna sleep my way through this.
Interesting health advice, though. Like I feel like they've seen it. Like, oh, I'm telling you, you know, we had this guy, whatever, Lewis in here, ruined his back sleeping too much. And
man, if he keeps his asshole glued to that bed like that, we're never gonna get him.
It's like he knows.
It's like he knows something's up. You think it's because my dick's out?
As he strokes it.
As he's stroking.
It's like he knows we're after him.
I've been telling you for the longest time, don't get it hard. At the very least, don't have it hard when you show up, man.
Yeah, I would do so you know, I would wait. I had a schedule, you know, I would do the same thing almost every single day. Wake up, go piss, get my water jug full. You know, I had this enormous water like thing that's like insulated, fill that thing up full of ice water, and get dressed, go work out for an hour or two, shower, and then it was like read the book until reading got boring, and then watch TV until somebody made me stop. Like the guards would make you stop watching TV sometimes. A new guy came in like midway through my stay and was like cracking down on the TV watching because some of us didn't have jobs. So then I'd go hide in the library and read there because they never came and checked in the library. Could have been doing anything in there. Nobody would have known. And just always try to find something to do. I stopped going to meals after like the first week. I didn't go to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I just ate my chili. I was so addicted to it. I loved it so much. I would dump so much I went through 3 bottles of sriracha. I was putting so much sriracha in that fucking chili. I just wanted to, just tears pouring, blowing my nose. It was the highlight of every day.
The highlight of every day was
It was the
chili
highlight
with
of every
sriracha.
single day was eating my little bag of 300 calories of chili covered in sriracha. It was like, oh, it's sriracha time. So yeah,
You
it was just
enjoy
about
the small things.
it was just about killing the time one way or another, making the hours pass faster than they normally would. Um, and
but
that
that's a
was
short
mostly
timer strategy, right? Which is you were a short timer, but so
yeah. Some of the other guys like got jobs. That was the way to pass like more than 2 months. If you're doing a 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, seemed to be to get a job, and if not 2 jobs. Like one of the guys that I was friends with, that's what he told me. I was like, "Why do you have 2 jobs?" He's like, "Oh, I got 3 jobs." I was like, "Why?"
because that's what it takes to pull in $1.50 a day.
He's like, just killing that time, man, killing that time. He worked in like the auto shop somewhere else, and then he did like leather working, which was like a hobby type thing you could do where you
Mhm.
made shit out of leather. Like he could make belts and
That's kind of cool.
yeah, he made cool shit. He made purses. He literally made bootleg Louis Vuitton purses for his girl on the outside and would mail them out to her, and they looked legit.
How good were they at making sure he didn't take anything that could be an improvised weapon, right? Because
Not good
auto
at all.
repair and
Not good
leather
at all.
work, it seems like you could get something out.
Nah, if somebody wanted a weapon, they had a weapon. I mean, there was just stuff laying around that could be used as a weapon. You know what I mean? Like it,
Like a pencil or a
not like steel spikes out in the yard. Weights. Like rebar, chunks of rebar.
That can be a good weapon right there.
Yeah, they
rebar's
had like
heavy as shit.
they had like rebar that they had like driven through those wooden things to like separate the grass from like the bushes or
little
whatever.
landscaping wall of some sort.
Landscaping a lot. Yeah. And I remember looking at that like, I guess they're not too tight on would-be weapons here. Because like all of I was just, I'm probably like anybody else. I was like, that's a weapon. That's a weapon too. Oh, this is a weapon. I hope nobody wants to hit me with anything. Yeah. So if somebody wanted a weapon, they had a weapon. But the thing was, everybody was happy to be where we were because they were literally getting stabbed to death at the
Right.
medium security
They didn't
prison.
want to risk going to medium, so they behaved.
Right next door, people are getting stabbed. And you fuck up, and that's where they send you. At first you're in the hole up there, but if you fuck up enough, then they bump you back up to medium security prison where people get stabbed and raped and killed over potato chips.